He says, first of all, Carmelo Anthony's girlfriend, Valeria, would have testified that she went to school the morning of the stabbing, April 2nd, 2025. And she told school officials that she had broken up with Carmelo Anthony and that he was stalking her.
Wow.
So this had happened that morning. 1 hour later, Austin Metcalf was dead, according to the prosecutor.
That's crazy.
Clearly painting a picture of this kid, so-called Carmelo Anthony, who was a hothead.
Notice the idiot in the chat that says lies. How you going to say it's lies when it is documented and on the mainstream media? To the mods, put that dumbass on the block list. I cannot stand stupid people, bro. I cannot stand idiots that say something is a lie when it is documented facts directly from his cell phone. Like, how stupid could you be?
Who was angry that morning, in some level of emotional distress and turmoil already at the time he showed up at the track meet. It's starting to come together, that hair trigger he had.
Wow.
But here's the real headline. So first of all, he texted the girlfriend, "I'm low-key on the verge." He texted her the morning of the stabbing. The verge of what? We're not sure exactly. However, the prosecutor says Anthony had a history of violence and that he wanted to stab someone.
Wow.
There is a text message where he fantasizes about stabbing someone and licking the blood off the blade.
Man.
He said of Anthony. He was obsessed with starting fights, said the prosecutor, and he was prepared to prove that, revealing Anthony had previously been taken by his parents to a special program at LSU for kids who cannot keep their hands to themselves. He went on to say, there was one other thing suggesting that there was previous aggressive behavior and text messages about a knife in particular. That came out a little bit after. So all of this is deeply disturbing and would not have helped Carmelo Anthony at all, Arthur. So what do you make of it?
Well, first of all, this type of evidence usually only comes out if the defendant's going to testify. You can't, unless it's absolutely relevant. Now, maybe the part about the girlfriend going that day, because that's relevant, right? That's within hours of this happening. That may have come out, but it didn't. And I mean, that's the thing. The difference between a jury and a judge at this point, you could let it all hang out. And Megan, I mean, I think Hail Mary is the term you use. I would say a miracle. In other words, they made a passing reference to him being not a nice kid, but they really had a tremendous amount of ammunition. He kills the guy with a knife, and they have text messages of him dreaming of stabbing something with a knife and then licking the blood off his blade. I mean, this case is not going anywhere.
He's an animal.
And it's a new judge, right? They wanted the judge recused. He wasn't going to be fair and impartial. Good. I'm happy. There's a new judge with a clean slate, and I'm sure this judge is going to be like, okay, I think everything went well at the trial.
Yes, exactly, because it seems like a no-brainer that, this Carmelo Anthony does not deserve a new trial. This is the new judge. They got rid of the old judge because he gave an interview to the press, Dave, and made all sorts of statements of like, I think my ruling on allowing them to strike those black jurors was correct. I think the jury verdict was correct, and was saying a bunch of stuff that it's very rare that we see a judge give interviews like that. And the defense made the most of it and said, you need to recuse. He didn't recuse. He got bounced off of hearing these motions by
Willie D is going to most likely come up with some sort of excuse video later, or maybe he already did one already, but Willie D is a damn liar. He been riding for Carmelo from way back, and it's just all these guys, all those guys you list. Who else you put on your list? You have Willie D, Roland, Teslin, Ricky. Yeah, all them so-called pro-blacks and them other guys, they're gonna just make up excuses. But they can't get around this information. Carmelo wanted to lick the blood off of a knife. Yo, that's as sick as you can be. That's cannibalism. That is a sick animal. That is a demon. That he said he would lick the blood off the knife. I wonder if he did. Did he do that? After he stabbed Austin, did Carmelo lick the blood? Because maybe he did, and we just don't know.
Independent judge they brought in to evaluate the motion. And now the judge has been bounced. But the new judge doesn't exactly seem like a softie, Dave. He's lifelong Republican. They don't tend to be softies on the bench. He also was very well respected when he was on the bench. He only retired in 2020. And he's got some history of actually increasing sentences when they...
If Willie D do a video, I'm going to react to the video. People going to still click on their videos helping them to get rich. I don't know why you guys even watch those guys' platforms. Like, you know them guys are liars. You know those guys have been pushing nothing but misinformation, and y'all still be watching their videos. I don't understand, man. And I do reaction videos. You would think that you would just say, let me watch Ringo react to the video, because all they're going to do is get a click and a view and make money. They're going to lie to you every single time.
Back around before him. So I'm not sure they're going to like the new judge any more than they like the old judge. What do you make of all this breaking news?
Yeah, be careful what you wish
judge
for.
Factor.
Be careful what you wish for. You know, you got the new judge, same as the old judge, right? It's this guy's going to be very tough. I do think
the new judge is not going to give Karmelo a break. And this is the problem with a lot of blacks. They think if we could get the first judge out of the way, that Karmelo going to get like a better chance. No, you're not, fam. They're not playing games with this type of stuff. Karmelo murdered Austin in cold blood. Do you understand that, fam? Now that the evidence is out that he was fantasizing about killing somebody, he was stalking his girlfriend, he wanted to kill his girlfriend, he had anger management issues, he was put in a program by his parents, he was a bully. Y'all talked about Karmelo getting bullied. Karmelo was a bully. All of that came out on the very day this man was texting his girlfriend, fantasizing about he want to stab somebody. If there is a new trial, and this info is released in the trial, Karmelo's doing life in prison. Hands down, they're giving him life.
Right decision to bounce the old judge, because he did give a press interview where he said that he thought the jury got it right with the guilty verdict. Okay, well, the standard is whether it creates a reasonable expectation of bias or an appearance of partiality. And yeah, when you're asking for a new trial, when the judge has already prejudged it, it's good to get a new judge. And that's good for appeal, so they can't keep this going on any longer, because the evidence is overwhelming against Karmelo Anthony. And when they say, well, we had a deal with the prosecutors not to put on evidence about the character of Karmelo Anthony, all this other stuff, and then that's why we didn't put on our client, Karmelo Anthony, because if we had, then the prosecutors said they were going to go after him for character. Well, now we know the real reason why they didn't put Karmelo Anthony on the stand. It wasn't because of a deal with prosecutors. Yes. It's because they had some smoking gun evidence about his text and his fight with his girlfriend.
For the first time since World War II, our national...
Let me fast forward this. I'm going to have some infomercial stuff. Let me get past that. Okay, here we go.
Agreement, and once we realized the prosecution wasn't gonna honor it, we couldn't put him on the stand. Oh, and by the way, they said we only had 10 minutes to decide whether to put Karmelo on the stand. And the prosecutor actually is featured in this report by CBS Texas. I'm going to play it quickly. SOT 49 on whether that's true too. Listen to this. This aired on July 20th.
Howard's new affidavit says he was 99% sure before the trial that Anthony would testify. He blames part of the reason he didn't on being rushed during the closed-door hearing and the judge declining to extend our time beyond 10 minutes. But the trial transcript shows that behind closed doors, the judge gave Anthony a lengthy explanation of his rights and that the defense had more than a half hour beyond that to consider their next move, even allowing Anthony to consult with his parents before telling the judge, "I don't want to testify." Did you think you had ample time to talk to your lawyers about that and got feedback from them, feedback from your family? You have had enough time to make that decision. Anthony replied, "Yes, sir, we did."
What was your reaction to seeing this affidavit?
I was surprised, I was disappointed, and frankly, a little confused. I mean, I was there for every minute of the trial, and Bill Wersky and our prosecution team, they conducted this case so fairly and cleanly and professionally.
Go ahead, Ashley.
Megan, this is so clear. They wanted a door number 3, and there was no door number 3. And that happens a lot. I mean, he wanted a door where he could testify and none of this evidence would come in. That's not possible. No matter how you spin it, no matter how many gentlemen's agreements you have, how you try to wiggle it, if he took the stand, this evidence was going to come in, and this evidence was going to sink him. And that's why he didn't take the stand. And I guarantee you, they didn't have 10 minutes to talk about this. I guarantee you, they've been talking about this for a year.
That's why they didn't put Karmelo on the stand, guys. Now we know why. If they would have put him on the stand, they would have brought this evidence out. He would have been cooked. The jury would have heard that. They would have been like, what? You were stalking your girlfriend? You were plotting? You were fantasizing, talking about, oh, the next person I stab, man, I'm licking the blood off the blade. That's what Karmelo said, y'all. That sick animal. This is the knife, fam. I had to go to Walmart to go buy the knife just so I could do content. This demon got the knife from Walmart and went to unalive Austin because he had a breakup. The man was salty, angry, butthurt, hypnotized by hatred, and took it out on the white boy. Unalived him with a knife, put it in his heart to make it bleed so he could be fulfilled, his fantasy, his sick fetish of blood. All over a breakup.